division part of reproduction in animals. So there are two kinds of reproduction, asexual and the sexual reproduction. Usually the sexual reproduction you can see in higher plants and higher animals, human beings, that is the multicellular organisms, and asexual you can see it in the unicellular and lower group of animals. So what is the difference between these two is there is no involvement of gametes in asexual to produce its offspring. The parent, one single parent itself can be able to produce its own kind of offspring, that is called as asexual reproduction. The sexual reproduction, which will be involving the gamete, male and female gamete fusion, then the zygote is formed, then the gamete form, that will undergo meiosis and that will produce the fetus in human beings and the offspring in the other plants and the lower animals. Okay, multicellular animals also have some lower animals also, where they will be having a different level of organization, different level of organ, right? Okay, coming to asexual reproduction, you need to know the different types: budding, fragmentation, regeneration, and binary fission. So binary fission, here one cell, unicellular organism, that will first divide its nucleus, then it will divide its cytoplasm, then it will be divided apart into two cells. So example, you can take any kind of unicellular organism. Here they have given you amoeba. So wherever the binary fission takes, bi means two, so one parent will give rise to two daughter cells. Okay, so next one is the budding. So budding, see here as in the given picture, it is in hydra. They have given the example hydra. So here the prituration, elongation of the body, from the body happens, right? So that will like a bud. Okay, it will arise like a bud from the body part, and that will detach from the parent, and that will be the new offspring. So this is how the budding is taking place. And regeneration is nothing but, as in planaria, even some of our body parts, right? So that also you can some of our body parts also you can see, right, in lizard, and even in our body, the liver, right? So that also will be regenerating the cutted part, right? So a part alone is cut down, and that will divide and produce a new form. So when the one body is cutted into two, so the cutted body both will develop the remaining part, so thereby they can reproduce its offspring. That is regeneration. And fragmentation, fragmentation also is like, if you are taking a ribbon, no, flat like structure, planaria is a good example for fragmentation. And regeneration, as I said earlier, that happens in starfish. So in starfish they have 5 arms, right? One of the arm, one part will cut down, so that part also regenerated, but the cut down part, no, that will develop into a new organism. Okay, so similarly in fragmentation also it happens, but in fragmentation mostly it happens in a flat filament like structure organisms. Okay, I hope you are clear with what I have said. Any doubt in this, you can send me in the chat box. Okay, coming to the next one, multiple fission. Okay, so multiple fission is nothing but multiple fission is nothing but dividing of one cell into many parts. See, one cell will divide into even 5, even 10, even 100. See the plasmodium, no, so that was able to divide into 1000. Okay, so this was the one which was capable of invading. Invading means what? Going into our blood cells to reproduce, and they will disable the blood cells, and thereby it causes the disease. Okay, so they will divide the cytoplasm into many pieces. How they are dividing means, the nucleus and the cytoplasm. Okay, so that will be divided into many pieces. Okay, and each piece will develop into a individual organism. This kind of fission we call it as multiple fission. The next one is the sexual reproduction in animals. So here we are dividing the sexual reproduction capable animals into two. One is unisexual and the bisexual. Unisexual is one that there will be a male and female separate individuals. So what is a human being? We are unisexual. We have separate male and female, right? And bisexual means in the same body both the male and female will be present. Example, leeches, earthworm, tapeworm, all this and all. Okay, so bisexual organism also called as hermaphrodite, another name for bisexual. The similar way we have in the plant also, that is bisexual means both the female part and male part is present in the flower. So that is called as a bisexual flower, also called as complete flower. And unisexual flower, separate female flower and male flower will be present as in papaya. Okay, so likewise we have the same unisexual and bisexual organisms in the animals also. It is similar in lower animals also. Lower animals means the worms, that kind of I am saying. Okay. But there is no gender differentiation in the unicellular organism. This will be only for the multicellular organism. Okay. Male reproductive organ and female reproductive organ will be present in the each particular individual. They will be producing a special cells called the gametes from their reproductive organ. So male reproductive cells are called as sperms and the female reproductive gamete is called as the egg. So this and all you know already. So a male gamete, they will be usually having a small nucleus with little cytoplasm. That means the size of the male gamete is smaller than the female. So female gamete is always larger with a large nucleus and more cytoplasm. Why? They are the part where the fetus is developing. So they need to supply the nutrient to the upcoming offspring. So after the fertilization, embryo will be formed, right? So as in the seeds germination, the embryo sac will be having the food for the baby plant. Then only the baby plant will grow. This is in the germination of seeds. Similarly, in human beings also, or in animals also, where the sexual reproduction is taking place, the female egg is having a large nucleus and large cytoplasm because it need to store the nutrition required for the formation of the embryo. So with the nutrition only the embryo is formed. Fine. Okay, next one, fertilization. So the fertilization is nothing but the fusion of two gametes and formation of zygotes. That is called as fertilization. Here you can find two kinds of fertilization. One is internal fertilization and external fertilization. Internal fertilization, the fusion of two gametes will happen inside the ovary. So internally inside the body. Okay, and the zygote is formed, embryo is formed, that then lead to the offspring, that is the daughter. Okay, the fetus, offspring. If the fusion of the gametes happens outside the body, for example in the frog, they will be releasing the egg and the ovum, egg and the sperm in the pond, and the fusion will take place externally in the water. Then the formation of larva and the formation of this tadpole will happen. Then the life cycle continues. So where the fertilization has happened, it is in the external environment. So it is called as external fertilization. So for internal fertilization, you can take the good example of human beings and other kind of mammals. So here the mammals will differ. What is that? They will feed their offspring, their baby, with their own milk. So those are called as mammals. Okay. So fish, frogs and all coming under the external fertilization. Okay. Internal and external fertilization I have explained you. So next one is the oviparous and viviparous. What is the difference between oviparous and the viviparous is, ovi means production of egg only. Here the internal fertilization happens, but After the fertilization, it has been formed into egg form, like in the birds and the hen, with the outer shell covering. So they will be laying the eggs, and the eggs will be incubated by the hen for 14 days, and by the 15th day it will hatch out, the chick will come out. So the food required for the chick will be present inside the egg. So there is no external formation of placenta from the ovary of the mother. Okay, that is the reason they lay the eggs. In viviparous, it is completely different. The formation of placenta will be there, and the nutrition will be supplied to the baby from the mother through the placenta. So it need to stay inside the womb, and that will be releasing the baby by the end of the maturity. That is, in human beings it is after the 9 months, completion of the 9 months and 10 months startings, they will be giving birth to the baby. Okay, so this kind of organism is called as viviparous, and egg laying is called as oviparous. Fine. Okay, few of the terminologies you need to know here. Okay, so that is the crossing over and variation. And meiosis. Meiosis is nothing but the reduction of the chromosomes, right? Okay, so the genetic information, the genetic formation, gamete formation inside the gonads. Gonad is nothing but the reproductive organ. Okay, so the gamete formation inside the gonads of diploid organism involves meiosis. That means reduction division. Meiosis is also called as reduction division. The gamete of mother cell is also diploid, 2n, right? Gamete of the mother cell is 2n, and the father cell is also 2n. So 2n means what it means? 2 set of chromosome is there. Okay, so 2 set of chromosome is there means that should be get reduced. So you need to have 2 set of chromosome in the baby, so that will be reducing the number. So half from the father and half from the mother. Okay, so this single diploid cell divides by meiosis to form the 4 haploid daughter cells. So each daughter cells become a gamete, so either male or female. So each gamete possessing single set of organs. So this 2n will divide into nn, and again another 2n from the father will divide into nn. So each nn is called as the daughter cells, daughter gamete. Okay, so each is possessing a single set of chromosomes. So this division involves copying of DNA as well as the cellular apparatus. So there is a stage in such nuclear division where the crossing over of the chromosomes takes place. So this will be different in each kind of organism. Okay, so there is a different important step which result in the slight different composition of the chromosome in gametes. So fusion of these gametes result in the formation of the individual. That is the what we call it as the variation. Okay, so there are some changes taking place in the variation. When you compare the sexual and asexual reproduction, this is the major difference. Okay, fine. So far any doubt you can message in the chat box. We will have the doubt clearing session also. Okay, so now coming to the female and the male reproductive organ. So as this has been discussed very early in your class. I hope you don't have any doubt in this. Then if you have doubt, you can listen to it, you will be getting cleared of that. Okay, so first you should know the steps involved in the formation of the sperm in the reproductive organ of the male. Okay, so for that you need to know what are the parts. So the testis is the testis. How many testes are present? 2. So the shape of it is oval. Okay, where it is present, it is lie within a scrotum. Scrotum is nothing but the covering. Okay, inside the scrotum only the testes are present. Okay, so actually the scrotum is present outside the abdominal cavity. It is outside the body, not inside the body as in the female. So they are responsible for producing the gamete sperm. Okay, so within this there is a coiled mass of tubes that is called as seminiferous tube. So where it is present? Inside the testis. Okay, where testis is present? Inside the scrotum. Okay, these tubules are responsible for producing the sperm cells. So process of producing the sperms is called as spermatogenesis. Okay, so the testes are called as the primary sex organs. Okay, so in between this you should know that there are millions of sperms are produced, and they are very small in structure. They have a head, a middle part and a tail. Okay, so mitochondria are present in numerous number because they need to give the energy and the strength to the movement of the sperm and the tail for the movement during the fertilization process. So it need to move to the fallopian tube in the ovary, right, in the female reproductive organ. So each sperm is a single cell with all the usual cell components. Okay, I think so far it is clear. Next, coming to the sperm ducts or vas deferens. So this is the part where where the sperms are carried to the urethra, which lies inside the penis of the female reproductive organ. Okay, so there is a pair of sperm ducts which has been carried from each of the testes. So there is a pair of vas deferens. So that will go to the urethra. Okay, so that will go to the urethra and the inner lining that will go. Okay, so this is how they will be carrying the sperm through this vas deferens, that is the sperm ducts. Okay, so the sperm will move through the sperm ducts. There are fluids from 3 glands they will get for the movement. Okay, that is the seminal vesicle, prostate gland. Once again, so where they will get the fluids is seminal vesicle. Okay, next one is the prostate gland, and from the bulbourethral gland. Bulbourethral gland. Okay, so this all will be pouring their secretion into the sperm duct. So in the sperm duct, with this help of this fluid, the sperm will be mixing up. So that this all fluid secretion plus the sperm is called as the semen. So sperm is produced in testis, and all these 3 glands will produce the secretion. So mixing of these two inside the sperm duct. So thus the sperms are able to move with the help of this fluid. So that is how they will go to the penis and that will be ejaculated. Is that clear? Okay. In the next class I will be taking you the female reproductive organ. Hope you have understood this prostate gland which forms the 25% of the volume of the semen, and urethra is nothing but the tube-like structure that arises from the urinary bladder, that is of 20 centimeter long, and there is a mass of tissue, very sensitive tissue in the tip of the penis, that is called as glans penis. Okay, and there is a folding of skin that we call it as in the external structure, that we call it as the foreskin. Okay, so the remaining part, the female reproductive organ, I will take in the next class. Most of you have a doubt in this particular male reproductive organ and its parts and its function. I hope it has been cleared in this class. Fine. So thank you all. I will meet you in the next class. Thank you.